Greetings to the Lunar Matrix. This is Elizabeth Shermer with an intuitive reading for the Lunar Matrix on Thursday, August 30th. Today's reading is in anticipation of tomorrow's full moon, which happens Friday, August 31st at 6:58 a.m. Pacific Time, and is through next week's last quarter moon, which falls Saturday, September 8th at 6:15 a.m. The full moon always illuminates and activates the energies that were released with the wave of new moon energy 2 weeks ago. And this month's overriding theme of energy has to do with our own experience of self-worth. So this opportunity for expanding into self-worth will come to new form this week with the illumination of the full moon. There's another pattern that's been going on, which is an intense wave of deep cosmic energy that's moving through the solar system right now, part of a larger cycle of growth. So there's this wave moving through that we're feeling very deeply. The energies are intense. We can feel them, but they are coming through below the surface of conscious awareness, we would say. So it's hard to actually articulate what's happening, but we can feel it. It's a feeling of intense potential. The full moon this week is acting as an activator to create outlets through which this deep and powerful energy can be expressed. The astrological chart this week shows that this cosmic wave can be experienced in two very different ways. And very briefly, as this wave of energy comes through, the full moon is going to be activating it for expression. And either you can, as you expand into your own feelings of self-worth and perhaps new awarenesses of self-worth, you will find ways to express yourself that will connect you to your community and the world around you. Without this expansion into self-worth, the intensity will still be there, and that will lead to a sense of pressure, and then the expressions or actions that will come from more of a sense of isolation, and whatever your own patterns are that lead to excess responsibility or duty or other forms of stress. We'll be talking about that in the reading. So in preparation for the intuitive reading today, I asked for clarity and guidance for us on moving forward into the full potentials this week and how we could participate in the full moon activation and expand. The full moon always leads to the opportunity for connection and clarity of a new sense of our own participation in the world around us. So I drew a 3-card body, mind, spirit spread. The card all the way to the left in the position of body is the 9 of Cups, happiness. So the very first message today is that the opportunity for our full participation this week lies in our ability to expand into happiness in our physical body and in the experiences around us. So this is a direct expression of the potentials this week. The 9s are related to our path of mastery. If you follow the videos, the central card last week was the Hermit, which is a 9. And so this is an extension of last week's reading, which is saying on our own path of mastery now, it's important for us to move in our life into our own ability to experience deeply what leads to our own emotional fulfillment, and then take actions in the world from that place. There's an opportunity for a deep level of integration that comes again from our experience of self-worth and expressing that in the world. It will lead to happiness. The central card in the reading today in the position of mind is the 10 of Wands, called Depression, and the Wands are the suit of fire and energy. This is a expression of this deep wave of cosmic energy that's pouring through the solar system, the universe, our own earth, and our own bodies this week. And the card came up reversed, meaning there's an opportunity for release of oppression. The Ten of Wands is the card of stuck energy, like stuck energy that leads to this feeling of overwhelmment and stress. And sometimes you can even feel it as a pressure on the top of your head because there's energy trying to pour in and you can't quite take it all. Well, the card came up reversed today, meaning an opening so that you can just fully run that channel of source running through you and feel the exhilaration of it. The energy that is pouring through us can this week lead to the experience of being full of fire, full of creative potential. And then just remember that if that energy becomes stuck, or if we're not able to channel it fully, that leads to that feeling of oppression, being trapped. And then whatever our own personal patterns are that lead to responsibility or duty or isolation or self-righteousness, or even expressions of greed and being self-centered. All of those are expressions or extensions of being cut off from the energy and trying to find actions that will release it without being in alignment. The card all the way to the right, let's see, this wasn't supposed to be reversed. Let's turn that over. All the way to the right is the Four of Swords, Truce. And the Four of Swords is a card from the mental plane of being in mental alignment, mental clarity, and specifically the word truce refers to coming to a place of resolution of conflict. And it can be an internal conflict or a conflict with another or a conflict with a circumstance. Whatever the aspect of tension is, there's a place of coming to alignment with it. This card, one of my favorite aspects of this card is a powerful teaching that I've learned through Angeles Arian, who wrote a really deep book related to this deck called The Introduction to Tarot. And the Four of Swords is a powerful teaching tool of what's called the fourfold way of the heart. And any circumstance of conflict, there's a four-step approach to fully participating and coming to equanimity. And the first step is to show up. The second step is to pay attention to what has heart and meaning. The third step is to speak your truth. And the fourth step is to release attachment to outcome. This is the path of mastery in the world. When I sat with the card for today's reading, very clearly what jumped out was the second step. Often when I work with this card, I ask for the specific teaching of the card or what to focus on. And the second step is the point of focus today, which is pay attention to what has heart and meaning. So the spiritual support this week is for us, when we start to feel stress, to remember to go into our heart and pay attention to our own authentic place of alignment. Envision your own story, your own path, your own hero's path. Don't be distracted by old stories or other people's dramas and other people's versions. Move within, feel authentically your own path of heart, and that will lead you back into alignment. And so the reading felt very clear, but as I have a favorite practice of drawing an additional card for clarification, I asked if there was more guidance to help us today. And I would say this is the icing on the cake for today's reading, because the fourth card is the King of Cups, or the Knight of Cups. A beautiful card that teaches us about the path of heart and the path of meaning in the world. The kings or knights are manifestors, they're actors. Actors meaning they take action in the world. They manifest in the world from a place of mastery and alignment. And the Knight of Cups is a master of harmony and a master of being strong-hearted and full-hearted and taking that expression into relationship with others and into relationship in the world. This is the expression of your own being who has come to a sense of self-worth and is expressing that self-worth in the world. So the message for this week is so clear, and I invite you to celebrate the potentials of the week for being full-hearted and full of the opportunity to express what you have to offer to yourself and others, your own gifts, your own happiness, and your own wisdom of seeing the gifts and the opportunities for happiness in others. The full moon always leads to new opportunities for community and new expressions of our own roles in the world and our own connections to others. So remember, the key this week is expansion into the fullness of your feelings. Don't overthink it, but pay attention from your heart, and you will know what to do. I leave you with intentions for blessings and much happiness this week for you and your loved ones. And I'll be in touch again next week with the next reading for the last quarter moon. In the meantime, this is Elizabeth Shermer with the Lunar Matrix.